Sensei Michael Cook is here to review Karate Kid, Legends, and then also Fountain of Youth.
Yes, good morning. Let's start off with the newest Karate Kid opening at a theater today near you. This movie, it starts off in Beijing, China. A young man played by Ben Wong. He and his mother are in Beijing, Jackie Chan and his uncle. At the beginning of the film, his mother, who's a doctor, gets transferred to New York City. And so the young man who had been training in Kung Fu in Beijing must move to America and start integrating into society there. He meets a young lady played by Sadie Stanley. They strike up a little bit of a friendship romance. Her father owns a pizza store or a pizza shop there, and he starts going into high school and starts, believe it or not, training the 40-year-old father who owns a pizza place to become a prize fighter and win some money, so on and so forth. This movie, I saw the original Karate Kid, many years ago, and like everybody else at that time, just loved it. Here, Ben Wong is kind of the new Karate Kid, as it were. And this time, though, he actually has some skills. He's not a complete novice, which I thought was a neat take. And Ben Wong, I thought, does have good charisma. Let me just say, though, this movie is completely unfocused. It felt like they're just trying to jam so much into it. Number one, like the villain is just completely bland and boring. He's the ex-boyfriend of the new young man's love interest, so he's irrelevant. The 30 minutes they spend training the old pizza owner to be a prize fighter, that felt like wasted time. Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio are sort of shoehorned in at the end, and the last act, it just felt like they're just trying to get their money's worth for paying these actors. So this was a completely unfocused film. It felt like 3 different movies, and none of them quite worked. It's well-meaning and it has some heart to it, I'll give it that, but I didn't particularly enjoy it. I give it a 5 out of 10. So this one, I'd just go watch the original. You'll have a better time with that.
So
one.
It wasn't wax on, it was wax off.
It was wax off, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Let's talk about The Fountain of Youth. Recently premiered on Apple TV. Has an all-star cast: John Krasinski, Natalie Portman, Stanley Tucci. Here you see John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. They play brother and sister. She's a museum curator, and he's basically an art thief. And traveling the globe stealing pieces of art. Well, here he is hired by a billionaire played by Domhnall Gleeson, who apparently is dying of liver cancer, and the goal of this thing is to find the supposed fountain of youth, which will give you eternal life and cure all ailments. So they go across the globe. They're in Rome, they're in Thailand, they're in Egypt, all on this quest to find, number one, find the clues that will then lead them to the ultimate goal of this fountain. Of course, I'm a big fan of Natalie Portman, who's an Oscar winner, and John Krasinski from The Office and some other great things. Are both great actors, and they have some good chemistry as brother and sister. But this movie is a mishmash of like a low-rent Da Vinci Code, shoehorned in with some Raiders of the Lost Ark and a sprinkle of The Mummy, and it just like a Frankenstein movie where they're trying to put all these parts together, and none of them quite work. It's directed by Guy Ritchie, who's done some pretty great movies, and from a visual standpoint, it's incredibly impressive. They spent mega bucks on this film, so visually it looks great, but the story is just you've seen it so many times before. The script and the dialogue is just hammy. John Krasinski, they want him to kind of be like a roguish, Harrison Ford, but he doesn't quite have that skill, although he's a great actor, but not at that level. So this is another movie that I thought was a misfire. I have to give it a 5 out of 10.
Wow,
so sadly this weekend, not, for what's new, not 2 great choices, unfortunately.
I mean, these are released this weekend, not Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let that be your guide, maybe. All right, thanks, Michael.